Riverside.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, and all people of all ages and all locations, it's the 4th and 1 podcast, and, we're feeling confident, we're feeling good that we're not going to have technical difficulties. We're also feeling really good because college football's coming up. But before we get into that, as always, anchor.fm/4th-and-1. Go follow us. All our links are there. Follow us. Listen to us anywhere you have podcasts. Thank you for listening. And we're live from Lancaster and Lititz, Pennsylvania, as always. Micaiah, are you excited in 28 days?
I am so excited. It's less than that, my bro. It is
27?
It's 24 days today at time of recording. By the time we launch it, it will be 20 dose days.
It was Michigan's first practice today.
It was. First day of fall camp opened for Michigan today, which is super exciting.
Sound off in the comments and on the Spotify poll. Does Micaiah's voice sound better? Yes, it does, because he's a... If I was ready, I would have had...
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Ready, because he finally has a podcasting arm, because he is an adult.
Wah, 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 wah.
And now he can fiddle around with his hands just as much as I do. So that's all good. What do you have?
It is the stand to the mic.
Oh, nice.
It is the old stand to the mic. So yeah, no, my hands are free. I can talk into the mic. I can breathe into the mic, all that good stuff.
Very good as always. Okay, so here's kind of the game plan for today. We're going to hit on a few topics that we wanted to talk about. You're also going to hear my NIL take, which you weren't able to hear on my rant that I went on last week or 2 weeks ago, mind you, sorry, because technical difficulties. And then we are going to play some bets. We are honestly going to play some bets. Yep. I have way more money in my account than I realized I did at
Well, let's not screw that up, but you can do some good screen sharing, right?
Yeah, of course. We're going to get into it. But first of all, big news coming today out of the NFL that made Simeon very confused until I saw Micaiah's story. The NFL will be appealing the 6-game suspension that Deshaun Watson was handed down by, I'm assuming, a mediator. This wasn't like...
Well, you got to back up. First of all, the people don't know.
That Deshaun Watson
was suspended. Yeah. It was handed down by an independent judge. Her name is Sue Robinson.
So an independent mediator.
So what I guess the collective bargaining agreement is, they took kind of the decision-making out of Roger Goodell's hands, as far as I understand it. Now, the NFL can appeal that decision, and then in hearing that, either Roger Goodell or whomever he appoints can make the final decision, and that is then written into law, and no one can appeal that. The NFL Players Association have already said that they are going to take the NFL to federal courts over them appealing this decision. The problem is, this was a heinous crime or crimes against women. So the NFL appointed a woman judge, and then she just gave Deshaun Watson 6 games.
Yeah, I kind of find it funny. It's kind of like you work with the boss who's like, I'm a team player, and then when the team decides something, they say, I don't like that decision, we're doing it my way.
Right, when the entire team, right, yeah. Sure. But also, Calvin Ridley, the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver,
this is just going to anger me more than I'm already angered today.
Good. Get you all fired up. Maybe you'll go on a rant. Got a year suspension for betting $1,500 on NFL games. And it wasn't even his own team. He plays for the Falcons. He didn't even bet on Falcons games.
Well,
and they suspended him a year.
He's not dropping big money on this. I think he said he made like $1,300 on games.
No, that's what I'm saying. He made like $1,500 on games.
If there's one thing that men do, hold on, I have to find it. Well,
Youths.
that's good enough because I can't find a white man. That white men do really well. It's having really weird lines in the sands.
Wow, that's pretty racist. But
Really
correct.
inconsistent lines in the sand.
Yeah, or
I don't.
like,
How do you
hey,
itch
Daddy,
your face? Do you reach around the mic? Do you reach under the mic?
It's your face.
Okay,
Just
well,
move
you know
the-
what?
You move
This
the mic
is-
and then you move it back.
This is a
moves.
this is a new experience for me. So you need to shut the fuck up and let me experience this. Okay, I'm like a baby in the world. I have to
Number one, how
experience
dare
it
you.
all.
No one cares.
So where were we again?
So we were talking about how white men are the worst, and this is still
Like in this case, I think it's a white woman that is
Again,
the worst.
humans are
right?
pretty dumb.
No, because basically they said this is going to be the final say. They brought in an independent mediator. I'm fine with 6 games, okay? Listen, you had I'm not sure if it was a federal case or a state judge. You had a judge. Maybe you found what was smelling bad, by the way, as Micaiah sniffs his water bottle. You had a judge.
Yeah, I need to wash it definitely.
And a DA and all of their evidence, which I'm sure was good, Mr. 21 women. Okay?
25.
Harvey Weinstein, 25 women. Harvey Weinstein wasn't able to get away from 1. Okay? Bill Cosby would have been sentenced to jail with 2. Okay? Like, they didn't need all the women they had. They just came out of the woodwork. You had all of these, which is not a bad thing, mind you. You had all of these women come to them. They did their investigations. They said there was no illegal acts. They came to a separate mediation when it came to civil cases. So, to me, I'm Gucci, fam. 6 games is fine. To
But
me,
Zeke got 6 for 1 woman. So okay, so even if you take away all the women who settled, which is 21, and that leaves 4 left, that's still 4 women's, and you're going to give him the same amount that you gave Zeke Elliott. Now Zeke Elliott was public on television lifting up a woman's shirt, but this is 4 women saying Deshaun Watson sexually, basically assaulted them.
Okay, but it doesn't matter if it's 1 or 21. You shouldn't.
Sure,
do
it does.
No,
Oh,
it-
no.
You shouldn't be
Yes,
doing
correct.
it. One
You
should be
shouldn't be
treated-
doing it, but you can't treat 1 and 4 the same.
Well, I mean, listen, if you murder 1 person and you murder 25 people, one gets you a Netflix special, the other gets you, they both get you jail, and they both get you life in jail, okay? But you get the Netflix
No, one gets you
special and
life
one.
in jail, and the 4 others would get you, double
Consecutive sentence.
consecutive life sentences.
Yeah,
so
so
why
it
aren't we
doesn't matter.
at consecutive games suspended?
I really don't mind the ruling of 6.
I
doesn't make
hate
me-
it.
That doesn't make me sexist. Listen, Ray Rice got 3 for publicly beating somebody.
So,
Adrian Peterson got 3 for spanking his kid with the wrong equipment.
So actually, I went back and I looked at the Ray Rice thing because me and Robert were having this discussion on our walking out of work today. Ray Rice actually originally got like 2, and then Roger Goodell came back and suspended him indefinitely. Then Ray Rice appealed the indefinite suspension and got, it overturned. And then, but by that point, he was already cut by the Ravens and no one wanted him. So I'm saying that, fine, 6 games for 1 woman, sure, okay, fine. But then you got to multiply it. You got to do 6 times 4.
No,
Yeah.
you don't, because 1 is equal to 21. It doesn't matter. 1's enough.
I don't think so. Again, like if a dude murders one person, a dude murders one person. If a dude murders 4 people, it's, oh my gosh, that guy's coming to my house next.
You have a poison in your mind, and the fact that you can't see it makes me so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, we're going to agree to disagree, and for the sake of sanity of everybody listening, we're going to move on.
Yeah.
So, NFL camp started before
Well,
we
what
get
really kind of sucks is the
move
Watts.
right back to it.
No, it was the Watson thing overshadowed Bill Russell dying. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Bill Russell, one of the greatest of all times. Thank you for bringing that up.
Today, Vince Scully.
I didn't see the Vince Scully.
Vince Scully, he was, and I didn't know this, he was the Dodgers broadcaster for a long time, but even before that, he was the voice of like Major League Baseball. He called like 24 World Series, 12 no-hitters, 12 All-Star games, something crazy like that. And he called some football games too. Yeah, he was an absolute legend.
Hi, I'm Paul.
You don't know who Vince Scully is, do you?
I know the name. That's about it. But no, like these are living legends who died. How old was Vince?
He was 94. Bill Russell was 88.
Bill was 88. I saw that. So huge impact on both games, obviously, and they will surely be missed. I don't know what else to say other than that.
I just wanted to make note that that's what happens in the sports world since, I mean, we've been off 2 weeks now.
Oh, there it is.
So.
A white man!
Oh, well, better late than never. Womp womp.
Ew, David.
Okay, so NFL camp started.
Yeah.
And everybody's been looking pretty good. I don't really want to comment on anything on NFL camp. Are we doing fantasy this year?
I'm in a work. Oh, yes, that's also what I want to do. I'm in a work fantasy league. First of all, first preseason game is, again, we record it. Today's Wednesday that we're recording. First preseason Hall of Fame games tomorrow night. That would be Thursday. So by the time this comes on, it will be retroactive. So it's the Raiders and someone else. The Raiders and the Jaguars. Raiders! What an absolute dominating victory with their third and fourth strings. Okay, moving on. No, but what I do want to do is, because I have been told that everyone I work with now has found this podcast.
Yeah.
And they know that I do a podcast, which I don't know, but I want to rank all of the names and just how lame they are.
Oh, okay. Well, give them to me and I'll rank them, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, first and foremost, you have Ow It Hurts. Capital H, like the last name Hurts. That was me. Show me your...
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, see? You like that? Show me your TDs.
Again, humans are pretty dumb.
Ooh. Krispy Kreme donuts.
Because it's garbage.
Oh, that one's
There's
Kyle.
no guy named Kareem. Oh, Kareem Hunt. Never mind. That was
White man!
Yeah, that's on me.
This one's pretty good. Of course, it would be Robert. Excellent. Caught Dakin off. All right.
I'll give it to you.
All right. This one's Lidditz fighting Amish.
My name is Jeff.
Adam, I'm gonna call you out. Adam, that's terrible. Adam has the number 1 overall pick, and he's already said he's going with Jonathan Taylor. So that's 2 bad decisions before the season has even started, Adam.
Have fun picking up a running back, to about a 10-point running back off of waiver wires in week 4 when he injures himself again.
Yeah, because they gave him the ball 550 times. Come on, Adam. Be better. Lidditz fighting Amish.
A little bit more because of
Matt Ryan.
There it is. Because of Matt Ryan.
Okay, the next one is Lock It Down.
Okay, well, first of all, here's why I like this. Okay, hold on.
Okay.
That's the top one for me. Because first of all...
Show me your TDs, isn't?
No, it's horrible.
How's that?
Someone with something original. Because Lock It Down, first of all, he's going to get sacked a billion times. Then he's going to get injured. So now we have 2 puns on top of the name pun. So that's 3 meta puns because Lockett's going to get sacked a bunch. Anyway,
well, Lockett's not a quarterback. Lockett's a wide receiver in Seattle.
Who am I thinking of?
I don't know. Drew Lock. You're thinking of Drew Lock. So it does kind of work on multiple angles.
You got to give it to me, okay? Listen.
Wow. That's pretty racist, but...
All right, so far the worst name is Lidditz fighting Amish. Yeah, like that's
name.
Yeah. All right, Rabid Rabbits. That apparently that's Junior. Apparently that's the best guy in the league. I'll believe it when I see it. And then it's
originality.
Scrolling for Soup.
Oh, instead of bowling. bowling for soup, scrolling for soup.
Oh, okay.
I'm
sure.
assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, I don't get it. And then
Garbage.
you have How It Hurts. That's me.
Yeah.
Also, that was off the top of my head. 3-second decision.
wow, good one.
Victorious Secret. You know, good pun. That is Christine. So
That's like that's up there. That's like going to be like a 4 or a,
Sure.
like a 3 or a 4. 1 being the best.
and then Pat Mahardman. Really, Jared.
Any sense?
So I would assume it's
Figured it.
Patrick Mahomes. It's a mix of Patrick Mahomes and
Nicole
Mecole Hardman. Plus, he likes his sexual puns. So I'm sure that the hard had to do something with it. But
You and me so horny.
yeah, but also I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with the names of the. I mean,
you had the.
Sorry, Mom.
You had so which one was Roberts again?
Roberts was caught dacking off.
His is up there, and I'm not just saying that because he's the insider. You know.
Right.
I think I like the Locket. I think I like Lock It Down. And I do like How It Hurts.
Oh,
And
thank
then-
you. Do you actually like that, or are you just?
Yeah, I do
you know,
like How It Hurts.
Oh,
and I
thanks.
do like Caught Dacking Off.
Okay, excellent.
Unlike a lot of people who are gonna catch a lot of Dacks, they're gonna make a lot of Dak pickoffs. And there we go.
Hey, there you go.
Okay,
Wah, 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 wah.
So you want to get into this?
Bro, I want to
we
get
have-
into whatever you want to get into.
That's what she said. Okay.
There it is.
You like that?
There's.
I feel
okay,
like this is our best podcast yet. I got my new
mean,
mic stand.
we're feeling pretty good. Okay, so the first games, we're gonna switch gears to kind of our bread and butter now because F the NFL.
Why would Mom always say whenever you walked over the poles, bread and butter, cheese and crackers? You know what I'm talking about?
I'm sure it's a 19 thing. Our mom
Right?
was born in 1950. Not actually.
I don't.
She's not
I
that
don't.
old.
I was like, dude, I don't think so.
But she is. We should probably do. Actually, we're going to switch to our segment here that is called "Answering Mom's Questions."
Oh, this is a good segment.
So this is always a good segment. For those of you who may be new or may have gotten this far in the podcast for once in your life, because you're losers who get bored.
Wow,
Yeah,
calling
just
them
pissing
out.
off our fans, you know.
Yep.
That one's gonna hurt.
Oh, there you go.
Our mom sends us reviews after every podcast that we do. It's a great way for her to connect with us and feel like she's involved in our lives. And we allow it because we want her to feel like she's involved with our lives because her mother really wasn't, and there's a whole childhood trauma thing there. So
Okay, didn't know we needed to air that out on national radio that 5 people are gonna hear. Like, what
it's
in the
17 now,
actual
okay?
F?
it's 17.
17 people. Wow. Yeah. Still though. Okay.
My mom said that she was sorry that I had tech issues the last time there. Also, I didn't get in on my NIL stuff. If you want to see what I'm thinking of it, there's a short out on YouTube which I recorded the day that we found out. That
No, you
players
just
wanted money.
And that's just the downside. You're just talking about the downside of NIL. You
Well, that
just
was the point. That was the first time. We'll come back to Mom here in a second. That was the whole point. That was the first downside that I found. You and I disagreed on the severity of that. To me, it's a huge deal because these kids, I'm going to say that as a 24-year-old who is married to a 25-year-old. Happy birthday, Liz.
MILF.
Yeah, okay, that works. I was going to say cougar, but that works too.
All right.
All right. These kids don't know what's going to hit them. I was having this discussion with one of my coworkers today. You get out of college, which most of these players are going to get out of college. You're going to have about, I don't know, maybe of all the people who play Division I, probably about 1 to 5% of them will get drafted. Of those 5%, about one of them will play more than 2 years in the NFL. And I mean play, I mean like third or second string play. Okay, it's the top of the top of the top who get starting roles every week. Another about 2% are going to go play for the XFL, the CFL, and the USFL. End of story. You have about 7%, I'm going to say, we'll be nice and make it 10%, of all college football athletes who are going to play some extent of pro-am or pro football. And what we're telling them right now, mind you, I'm not talking about the Arch Mannings. I'm not talking about the Caleb Williams, the Cade McNamara's, the high end, not the Cade McNamara's, the high end, but
Spencer
like
Rattlers.
Spencer Rattlers of the world, these first round draft. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the regular ass guys. Okay? Your second stringers on defense.
The schmoes.
Yeah, they're expecting us to pay. I'm just throwing a number out here. We didn't get a number.
I got a number.
Okay, $200
for 30 minutes.
For 30 minutes to have them on for 30 minutes to talk about what they love to do, and possibly are getting paid to do, and are getting a free education. And here's my point: you spend 22 years of your life basically learning and in a learning environment. Then you get out into the real world and realize you have nothing else to do because you're only there for about 8 hours. Unless you're working trades, then it's 10 to 12 hours. And if you're working trades, you're probably going to make more than most of the people that get drafted in the NFL do. So you're going to get out in the real world, and all of a sudden, that $200 that you want us to pay, barely people are going to want to do that for you to wipe asses. So why in the world are you expecting us to do something when you're a fucking second stringer on a top 10 school?
Because they're being taught to monetize their time.
They don't deserve the monetization.
But that's not the point,
that's
though.
That's like saying we deserve to be monetized because we're on YouTube.
Well, we do deserve to be monetized because we're the worstest podcast on the interwebs, and no one else can have that claim. But on a serious note, all these kids are being told is that they are the product, right? So when you have something that people want, you have to sell it in order to maximize your time.
But what I'm saying is they're selling us a 2000 Camry that's worth about $500 at a 2023 Camry price.
I understand that. And I understand.
I'll
completely agree.
$5 to come on for 30 minutes. Sure.
I completely agree. And it's not like we're asking tough questions here. We're really just kind of want to pick around, kind of mess around. And listen, as you said, all publicity.
Wow.
There it is good
You had one job.
Just the one.
Publicity.
There you go.
Is good publicity. That sounds so weird. I'm saying it wrong.
Right. But listen, any creator knows, any monetizer knows that you got to start somewhere, and you're going to have to pay for it. Now, I'm not asking them to play football. That's what there should be monetized to do. I'm asking them to talk about it. They don't have to. But don't expect me to pay you for it. I don't pay you to do this. In fact, I've spent more money on this podcast than you have. But I do it because I like to. So why on God's green earth do you, as an 18-year-old or a 20-year-old, get to tell me what I should be paying you to do? No. Other way around there, buckaroo. By the way, I don't pay... What is it now with fees? $143 to go sit halfway up at Michigan Stadium for a night game against Hawaii to watch you walk around on the sideline and, as our lovely Robert would say, dack off. So, no, you don't deserve it. I want you on the podcast to talk because that's what you do deserve to do. You get to love the game.
Yeah, I think I
By the
think
way-
that NIL has made it so that it is now a transaction. Instead of you perform well, so now you get all these opportunities to come on, it is now you perform well, so now you get paid.
If there's one thing that I've learned this year, it's been you don't get to make the rules.
Yeah.
Unless you make the rules, which is fine. You want to get paid $200 to sit on a podcast? That's fine. But I'm not going to pay for it. And you know what? I'll shit on you all I want because I think that's a cheap, scummy ass thing to do. If Pat McAfee charged us $200, I would have a problem with that. If fucking Elon Musk, who if he breathes on something makes it go up 10% in value, charges $200, I would have a problem with that. This isn't how it works. The Fifth Estate, not that we're by any means a news anchor, or the Fourth Estate, whatever the fuck it is, we're the watchdogs. We get to call you out when you're bullshitting us. And right now, that one thing, that was the first thing that I found wrong with NIL. Go get paid by boosters, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm spending $150, times that by 100,000, that's 150 million. I don't think I did my math right there.
1.5 million.
Times 100,000.
Yeah, 1.5 million.
I think it's more than that.
Okay. It might be 10.5 million then.
That sounds more because you.
This
take the
is
zero and
this
then
is
you add
great
all the
pie.
zeros.
How many idiots does it take to do
I
math?
don't feel like pulling up the calculator here. Okay, hold on. Now we have to pull up the calculator.
No, but
Okay,
here. Okay, let me finish with
You
this.
should get paid. I don't have an issue with you getting paid. No, you're wrong about this.
No.
And this is
Let me finish. Let me finish because now you're Captain Bourne and you're droning on for no reason. So here,
I was coming
so-
to an end.
So yeah, I'm cutting you off. You're ended. Here's the final point and the final thing I'll say.
It's 15 million.
It's 15 million. Okay, I was close. If you're an athlete, we don't care if you're the fourth stringer in some D3 squad school in the middle of bumblefuck Montana. You're an athlete. You don't even got to be college football. Heck, we'll take any collegiate athlete. We'll take any athlete of any kind as long as you play a sport. And even if you don't play a sport that people don't know, that's fine. We'll take you anyway. We're just not going to pay you. We'll come on. We'll interview. Hit us up at the DMs at 4th and 1 Podcast on Instagram. Okay. Comment down below on this YouTube video if you want to be interviewed by us. And again, we're not asking you hard questions. If you play a sport that we don't know a lot about, we'll ask you about that sport. And if we do know a lot about the sport, we'll get your opinion on other things in that sport. Plus, we'll just kind of BS around. 30 minutes. That's all we're asking. You don't got to do the whole thing.
Here's the issue that I have with what you gave me, okay? Is my rants are legendary. And
Your rants are not. Well, your rants are not. That one was going on for like 10 minutes there.
Yeah, and it should
So,
have.
and
I'm
it
right.
was... that's fine, but as you have told me on many occasions, just because you're right doesn't mean you get to talk a lot about it.
Wow, I'm really smart. Okay, so we're gonna go now. Try to make
Here we
you
go.
some money. Okay, so we're on FanDuel, not a sponsor.
We're gonna make
but go ahead and sponsor us.
Yeah, FanDuel, go ahead and sponsor us. So you're gonna want to go to go up.
Now, what? I'm on the top here. You're gonna...
No.
Hold on.
I didn't make you log out, bro. You can't be mad at me.
FanDuel made me log
If
out.
you are watching on YouTube, Simeon is sharing his screen. And if you are not watching on YouTube, we'll do our best. But we are going to tell you what best to place.
Listen, this is what I do. Every week,
On win totals.
I'm going to pick the winner of every single game that is played. Okay?
And 1 week, he might actually hit it.
And 1 week, Probably not. I might actually hit it. So let's go over here to ESPN.com. And
Well, bro, let's just do winners.
I need to know. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But I need to know, when does week 0 actually stop? And I don't want you to be the one telling me, because that's annoying when you're right all the time.
So now we just have to sit here and watch you do it.
What is that? Saturday, September 3rd. Okay, so it goes September. Are you counting September 5th as week 1? This Clemson Georgia Tech game.
Yes, of course. That's week 1. Yeah.
No,
No, that's not week 0. That's week 1.
Wait, so September.
Week 0 is Saturday, August 27th.
27th. Oh, my bad. Okay, I got confused there.
Week 1 technically starts that Thursday, September 1st.
Okay. Yes.
So go.
Thank you.
So go over
this is the
to.
This is the top.
No, you see where it says national champion, Heisman, to win 10+ games. Scroll over. Regular season wins. Click on that.
This
Pick
is
a
what
team.
you want to do?
Yes, this is what I want to do.
Oh, I wanted to do my bets first.
We'll do that later as the season gets closer, motherfucker. I'm not killing you. This is just as fun.
Okay. Alabama, over under 10.5.
Over. Hammer it. It's negative 280, so you're going to have to put a little bit of money to win something. Listen, they're going to go undefeated more than likely, but they're definitely looking at 11 wins.
Okay. Awesome.
And you don't have to bet on any of these, Simeon, but I am.
All right. Florida, over under 7. Billy Napier, new coach, first season in.
That's a good one. Good one, Ponton.
Thank you.
Well, it's kind of weird because there's no like half. So I don't know whether to go over or under. I'm gonna go. Well, I can't bet on that.
Are you thinking with your betting mind here, or with your?
The problem is I think that they're going to win like 7 games.
Yeah, I do too. So that would be over.
What?
It's at or above. Over would be at or above. Would it not?
I mean, I don't know how this would work.
I'll just put over down.
Okay,
we
just
both
put
think
over.
they're going to win 7 games. Let's see. Georgia, I'm just curious. 10.5. Okay, I don't care about them. LSU, over under 6.5.
Oh, hammer the over. I think that they're a 7 or even 8 win ball club at that. You got to hammer that over. Listen, Jaden Daniels coming over from Arizona State, going to make a big difference. They're going to really rely on that running game. Listen, that cupboard is not as bare as people seem to think it are. They just got too big of themselves after their natty in 19.
Texas A&M, over under 5.5.
I don't think that's 5.5, bro.
I'm sorry, 8.5. My bad.
Oh my goodness, they're only giving A&M 8.5 wins.
Micaiah saying hammer the over. Okay, awesome.
Old Miss is at 7.5 wins.
Are you saying over or under?
I'm saying over. I think Old Miss might go 8-0 to start.
Vanderbilt, 2.5.
Oh, under. Under. I don't know.
Tennessee, they have Tennessee at 7.5 games for Tennessee. I think that's
and Tennessee could go one of either way.
Okay.
Robert just said gotta love Saban, so I'll keep you tuned with why we have to love Saban.
Oh, that should be interesting. So let's do Iowa. Let's look at Iowa here. Over under 7.5.
Problem is, I don't know Iowa's schedule.
Well, if you had a good memory, you would know Iowa's schedule.
If you remember.
Wow, such a bitch. I don't know who they play week 1. So I'm trying to scan down here. And see if
San Diego State. Oops. Okay, so who is it? San Diego State, Iowa State, Nevada, Rutgers, Michigan. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so how many games are we looking at winning here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He pulled it up, so we're going to go back over to FanDuel. This is an over for me.
Yeah, I think they're good for 8.
Yeah, I think that's about what they're good for as well. Michigan,
And that's at
over
plus 110.
Over under 9.5. They're at least a 10-win team this year, so
I think all things being equal, yes, they should be a 10-win team.
They're both at minus 110 right now.
Yeah.
Both over and under.
Here's the interesting one to me. Ohio State's at 11.
You know, you can't just be patient and wait for me to get there.
No, I can't.
Because
why? What's with the two this evening? Huh?
Because, you know, if you would let me do my job, we would have a great podcast. For once, I'm actually here. And for once, it's going well. And then you just skip ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
We're going in alphabetical order. All right, Tuck coming 7.5.
How about we talk Northwestern? No, I'm kidding.
Shut the fuck up.
Sparty at 7.5. I think they're good for at least 8.
Interesting. And then you said Ohio State at 11.
That's very interesting because Ohio State, I think the 2022 Ohio State offense, it could be on par with the 2019 LSU and 2020 Alabama. I really do. There's a chance they go 12-0. However, they're Ohio State. At some point, they're going to slip up in one of these games. And again, if it's 11 and over, then yeah, fine, hit the over. But if it's over 11, so that means 11 doesn't hit, and it's 12, then I think I think they go 11-1.
I agree with that. Interesting here. We got Wisconsin at 9, so they're clearly favored in the West, and Penn State at 8. Do you have Penn State as an 8-win team?
No, I have Penn State like at a 9-win team, my dude.
I think they could drop 4.
Sure, they could drop 4, but I think Sean Clifford's a little too experienced for that. I mean, he better be. He's only been in that system for 1,000 years. He's basically as old as Methuselah. At some point, the NCAA has to be like, no, he's too old. He's already seen everything. He can't come back and do this again. Like, I don't think there's any coverage that you could throw at Sean Clifford and him be like, you know what, haven't seen that one before. You know, I remember seeing that 4 years ago when I was a junior at Penn State. That was my old person voice. I'm going to go under. I think they're a 10-win ball club.
Also, why are you looking at your phone when I have them on the screen?
Because sometimes it's not as clear as that. But I can look at the screen if you want me to look at the screen, boss man.
I mean, you do you, because at least you sound good this week.
Well, this way I'm really picking them so I can just bet them after.
That's fair. So this one is interesting. They have Miami at 5.5.
Really? Because
obviously 8.5. 8.5.
Oh my!
8.5.
See, and this is why I'm looking at my phone. Okay. All right.
I say one thing, and you don't say no. That says 8.5.
All right.
Shut up.
All right. Miami is a tough call because Miami has enough talent to be college football playoff material, but they're also Miami under a first-year head coach. So I'm not touching Miami's over/under win total. I'm not betting on it, but unbetting wise, I would say probably 9 games.
I think that's fair. I'm interested to see what they have Florida State at. 6.5. That's fair.
I'm going to say over. Florida State, that's fine. Florida State to me is a sleeper team for the ACC. Again, Florida State is one of those teams has enough talent, whether or not they put 2 and 2 together and stop making all those Florida mistakes, as you call them, Simeon. That's fine. Can we look at Wake Forest, or am I going out of order now?
I was going to say I was interested in NC State at 8.5. I'm surprised they're not giving them 9. I'd take the over.
See, NC State has enough talent to. I agree with you, Simeon. Hit the over on that.
Wake Forest and, dear Lord, take the over on both of those.
Yeah, I think
Wake Forest and NC State are 8.5. This is the world we live in, where those could be your the two people playing in the ACC championship.
I have Wake Forest winning the ACC.
Yeah, you
remember?
Do.
Yeah.
You do.
So obviously, I'm hitting Wake Forest over on that right there.
Who do I care about? Arizona State 5.5. That sounds about right.
Under.
I'm not going to make you comment on them, but he does anyway. UCLA.
They're going to be a dumpster fire.
8.5. UCLA. For the
over.
Chip Kelly's.
Over.
Oregon. 8.5.
See, and now we're not even going in order, motherfucker.
Yeah, well, that's because I forgot Oregon was started with an O. Okay?
You forgot Oregon existed. I think Oregon's an 8-win ball club. I don't believe in Bo Nix very much. I mean, yeah, maybe he just needs a change in scenery, and not to be at the school his daddy was at, literally. But first-year head coach, could be good, could be not. I'm going to go 8 wins, though.
What do you think USC's at before I open them?
9.5.
I think they're going to be at 10. 9.5. Look at Micaiah being right again.
And they're a 10-win ball club. That offense is good enough to win 12 games, but the end of their schedule is kind of brutal. But I still think they're a 10-win ball club to go 10-2.
Interesting. The bettors have USC kind of winning here because Utah's at 8.5.
Yeah, I hit that over.
And I'm just curious. You don't need to comment on them. They have Washington at 7.5 and Washington State at 5.5. More just because Washington State was good.
Well, Washington State won like 6 games last year. Wait, open that. Was that plus 125?
Yeah.
Listen, everyone, go out and bet Washington State plus or over 5.5 games at 125. That's a great bet. Washington State finished 3rd in their division last year. I'm not saying that they're going to win the conference. I think they're a 7-win ball club.
That's just betting news for everybody for him. Baylor was not the champions of the Big 12. That was Oklahoma State last year.
Other way around.
Okay. Well, they have them at 7.5. I'm not sure if I like that. I don't know how many they lost, though.
It's because they were like a 3-loss team, I think.
No. I'm saying how many players they lost.
Oh, well, if you would have paid attention in my thing.
We did the Big 12 like 2 months ago.
I would at least remember you to try to pay attention.
I did pay attention. I'm saying my memory.
All right, here it is.
Old.
Here it is. Part-time quarterback who was part-time last year because of quarterback injuries comes back in. Most of the offensive line is back. They need help. They need to replace their wide receiver and running back. Defense was 20 points a game in 21, and most of that production is back. I mean,
over.
At 7.5, that's insulting for the Big 12 champions.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting from Oklahoma.
At -170 too.
You don't know what you're getting from Oklahoma. You don't know what you're getting from Texas, even though I think Texas is going to be good. So insulting to me.
What do you think? I'm going to open up Iowa State just to see what they have. 6.5.
6.5. Yeah.
I think that's fair for Kansas.
Matt Campbell will over.
You think they're a 3-win team?
Yeah, I do. I think they're a 4-win team.
Kansas.
Listen, they almost got Oklahoma. They're getting someone at home. Playing them at home, playing Kansas at home is like playing Iowa on the road, right? It's the same thing because it's the same. So it's all somber at Iowa because, you waved to the cancer kids. In Lawrence, literally no one is there, so it's quiet. And they'll hide one of these big teams in like a noon kickoff, which is 11 o'clock Kansas time. So it's always cloudy, and you're just like, we have to play a game in front of 400 people, and I'm not even exaggerating. It's legitimately sad when they pan in that first time and they pan across the stadium. All but 2 rows around the lower bowl are covered. Like, come on. Get out of here. But Kansas, no. Kansas is good for at least 3 wins, I think.
Oklahoma 8.5. Does Brent Venables have it?
The talent's there. The defense is going to be better. The offense is going to be good. Yeah, 9 wins.
Oh, I didn't see what South Carolina got. I'm getting out of order here. Just real quick to scroll back up to the SEC and look at South Carolina.
Ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, we're at 16. Well, I'm at 16 bets right now. I'm going to trim that down. I'm not betting all of these.
Well, and also FanDuel isn't letting you do parlays on it.
Yeah, which kind of sucks. Well, mostly because people like us would just make $100 million off of this.
We would just we love to do parlays. It's a little bit bad. All right, Clemson, that's ACC. We were down in the Big 12. Okay, Oklahoma State semifinals, runner up 8.5.
Under.
They were 10-win team last year.
Yeah, that entire defense was built on seniors and fifth-year seniors. They're losing their running back. Spencer Sanders hasn't shown the ability to throw from the pocket. Again, I went over all of this, and someone just wasn't paying attention, but that's fine.
Listen.
That's fine. That's fine.
No, listen. That time I didn't ask you to build it up, and you nailed the thing. If you didn't, if you left out the sassy comment, that would have been A+ podcasting.
Okay, here's the deal, though. Don't tell me to leave out the sassy comments because that's all I got for you.
Yeah, well, that's all you get. So I'm not really expecting you to leave them out.
I don't have anything. Yeah, I don't have anything.
Hey, Daddy.
Next, what do you think West Virginia's at? 5.5.
I was literally going to say 5.5, and it's over. JT Daniels coming in. Yeah, new system, but he's been around the block, seen a thing or two. They're good for at least 7.
That's what I was thinking too, about 7. Texas,
how was that? How was that build up?
That was great. And then
without the
sass
sass
at the end. But you gave it to me at the end, and that's what matters.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Hey,
I'll give it to you.
My pants? Okay. Texas at 8.5.
Over. I really do think this is Sark's. Again, last year, first year, Casey Thompson not there. That kind of bothers me because I actually thought Casey Thompson was the better quarterback. Bijan Robinson going to run that football. Everyone's high on Quinn Ewers. I got to see it first, but I'm really low on Hudson Card. I watched a highlight game with him between him and Arkansas. He was trash. So I guess we'll see.
They're going to have all the hype the first couple weeks because of Arch Manning.
Yeah.
Literally, that's how much Arch Manning's going to bring.
It's kind of tough because they do face Alabama week 2.
That's right.
But it's at home.
Do we? Yeah, we.
Yeah. Click on that. 8.5.
8.5.
Tough schedule. Over. Offensive coordinator, quarterback, defensive coordinator, who's now the head coach, all the same. They're going to be big up front. They're going to run the football. They're going to have that mentality. By the way, they have the current number 1 recruiting class in 2023. Notre Dame, look out. Could be on the rise.
Huge to keep your recruiting class in today's day and age when your coach leaves.
They're not going to, correct. They're not going to be a college football playoff team, which is what the boosters want. They're a 9-win team for a first-year head coach, young African-American head coach at that Catholic school. Huge deal. 9 wins, book it.
I like it. The only thing, we're going to beat this drum one more time. We all say they need to get into conference if they want to be big boys. They're sitting they're the biggest kid at the children's table right now, in my opinion.
Yep.
ACC Cincinnati.
Dude, this is
face that you just
I just realized I don't think I have washed this water bottle probably in 2 weeks.
Yeah, you probably going to want to take that upstairs after this.
Like, this definitely is the smell I was smelling before we came on the podcast. I can't believe I was drinking water out of this thing, man.
Yikes. Ladies and gentlemen, wash your water bottles. Over under 9 for Cincinnati. The Bearcats.
Under. I'm sorry. You're going to replace...
You're really hard on Cincinnati this year.
Listen, I understand. Replacing a 4-year starter at quarterback is a tough thing to do. You're in the AAC, and let's not try to act like Cincinnati were world beaters in conference play last year. They had a whole bunch of one-score games against like teams that only end up winning 5 or less games. And now I'm expected to be like they're going to be the 12-win team, the better than basically a 10-win team. Get the fuck out of here, my dude. And I'm not saying my dude as in you. I'm saying my dude as in FanDuel. So, so you're going to sorry mom me, but when you were on your rant and you dropped like 9 straight in a row, that's where we draw the line. I'm so glad we're drawing lines in sand, bud.
Listen, this is no. I should have sorry mom myself, but I was so in the zone during my rant, I forgot to do sound effects. Okay.
Yeah, but it would have been like it would have been like sorry mom, sorry mom, sorry mom,
all right.
Sorry mom.
On to Houston at 8.5.
Over.
I
Again,
do remember these. Don't worry.
Do you remember why I'm picking Houston though?
Because they were the second best team in the AAC last year.
They're
and
returning
a lot of all of their people.
They're returning a lot of all of their great English, bro.
Yep.
They're returning 11. I think everyone on offense or almost everyone on defense.
Hey, you want to see our first hard under here?
11 of they won their last. The defense is returning 10 seniors.
Here's the hard under at plus 135. Central Florida at 8.5. They have Central Florida at 8.5 wins. I guess they're planning on just pulling like 3 wins out of their ass.
I'm guessing that they know something I don't.
There's no way. It's betters. It's the hype. It's the name recognition.
UCF or USF?
UCF. Orlando. Lee Corso. University of Central Florida.
Jump around.
Yeah.
The bounce house. I'm sorry, not
bounce
jump
house.
around. That was insulting to Wisconsin. I apologize. Yeah, no, I agree. They're an 8-win ball club. And it's Gus Malzahn is their head coach. And we all know how Simeon feels about Gus Malzahn. No, exactly like that.
And
and
coaching at University of Central Florida. That's how I feel
exactly.
about Gus Malzahn.
And yeah.
Sleeper pick for you was Eastern Carolina, were they not?
It was actually
like 7 or 8 games, I think.
Yeah, they got a good team.
They have 6, so you say taking the over on them?
Eastern Carolina defense returns almost everyone from 2 deep. Offense returns quarterback, running back, wide receivers, tight ends, and 3 O-lines. So what does that normally get you?
They have really good uniforms.
They do.
57 wins.
They got you 7 wins, and you get to hit the over. Listen, everyone. 8.5 on Houston. You're stealing money. Dana Holgerson's a good coach, and they're returning their quarterback and 11 of 12 offensive starters. Go get them.
Plus 105 for the over at 7 for SMU.
That offense is going to be really fun to watch under Rhett Lashley. Fast pace, high tempo. I think it's a year early. They want you to bet the 7 and over. I'm going to take the under on that one.
That's fine. I think it's a coin flip for SMU. They were the third head of the 3-headed dragon of the AAC last year. They're going to be the third head again this year. We'll see which one gets chopped off. I'm interested in, I think, Tulane. I could have sworn Tulane has an interesting. We're going to come back to them. Oh, we're not going to come back to them. We're not going to worry about it.
No, Tulane was one of my team that I put have pulses question mark. So I think you're Tulsa.
Am I thinking of Tulsa?
Tulsa.
Okay, we're getting down here to the less desirables. I'm sorry. It's what you guys are.
We need to do like 2 teams from Conference USA, and you know who they are.
Well, you do the Roadrunners of UTSA. They have it 7.5 teams, 7.5 wins.
I don't know how many they're returning. I'm sorry, everyone. I don't know everything. I'm gonna do over. You don't go 12-1, whatever they were. 11-1, whatever they were, and then I mean you do if you're Michigan.
Oh, and they weren't 1-score games either, by the way.
Yeah, they were blowouts. I'm going to say over.
They were towards the end. Western Kentucky at 8.5. That's not.
I don't know. I'm going to hit under. I don't know enough.
They have like aren't they in the air raid that has a guy that's just tossing the rock around for the second
He got
straight
drafted.
year?
He got drafted.
Are you? Did they transfer in somebody like that or something like that?
Maybe. I don't know. He got drafted by the Patriots.
UAB at 5.5. At 8.5.
I like the.
Sorry, I did it again.
8.5. I don't know enough about them to give anyone an
That's fine.
accurate guess.
We care about Ball State and the MAC.
No, we don't.
No,
Why
not
do we
Ball
care
State.
about Ball State?
We don't care about.
We care about
I'm
Akron.
So sorry. No, that's the Zips. We actually care.
Yeah,
about
that's our
Kent
uncle's
State.
school.
Yeah, they have Kent State, who went to the MAC championship at 5.5.
They must have lost a lot of seniors then.
I'm guessing.
Does Michigan
guess
play any MAC team early? Because whatever that one is, they don't.
They play UConn, Hawaii, and
Colorado State. So whatever Colorado State's is, probably take the over on that one.
we'll go look then. Who was the Toledo Rockets
Akron.
at 8.5?
Akron is 2.5.
Take the under. Listen, you got the only female mascot, and that's about in the NCAA, and that's about.
Are you serious?
Yes, Zippy the Zip is a female.
Why are we giving genders to mascots?
Well, okay, first of all, because you have a pouch, and that's one of the coolest things about a kangaroo. So of course,
Oh, I get it. And only females have pouches.
yeah. Well,
Is that actually?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. No.
Okay, great. Excellent. But you know that it's a female. You know the mascot is supposed... Oh, well, okay. Well, everyone, there you have it. Zippy the Zip. Or whatever it was.
I think now I have to double check my homework.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, Raging Cajuns are at 8.5.
Oh, I could have scrolled down and done that first.
Well, that's fine. You're looking up
Wait,
things.
James Madison is going to be playing 11 games in the Sun Belt.
Yes.
Did you know that?
But they are not eligible for a bowl game this year, but they get to play 11.
Interesting. I'm on the page. Why are you telling me to log back in? See, this is the thing that FanDuel probably has to do by law. And
Oh, no. My mic is falling. Ladies and gentlemen, panic.
It happens. It's okay. He's fine.
No, I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, panic. It's time to panic. This is the Titanic situation all over again.
Listen, this is how bad Akron University football is. It literally pulled up their soccer team when I went to their university, when I went to their Wikipedia page.
I'm
That's
still
how bad they are.
panicking.
We have Zippy the Kangaroo. Yes. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't worry. I fixed it, I think.
We've devolved into our. So James Madison 5.5 in FBS. Sorry, what do you got?
Unfortunately, I think it's under. I would love James Madison to immediately come in and win, but not be able to do anything about it because I think that that's just ridiculous. If you're going to take on a new team, take on the new team in full. First year, you should be able to go all the way. I hope that they go undefeated, but I think they're looking at 5 wins.
That's fair.
Why does it say must play 11 games? I don't understand that because the normal season is 12.
I think they're on an 11-game schedule. My guess is they're playing they're playing like a couple FCS schools and then 11 FBS games.
No, there's no way.
Dude, I don't know. We'll look it up afterwards. Doesn't matter. You had the Raging Cajuns at 8.5. New coach. Couple transfer outs.
Sorry. Yeah, oh yeah, hit that under.
And then Appalachian State 8.5.
Like Appalachian State, the ordinary giants who were suddenly great. Over.
You have a man crush of Justin Timberlake.
Okay, I don't need your sass. I don't
Okay,
come on here to
Colorado
get your
State.
sass.
Speaking of, 5.5.
Over. They're playing Michigan. These teams that always play Michigan somehow go on to almost win their conference every single year.
The Fighting Brady Hoax at 7.5.
Go absolutely under, and I hope everyone hits that under. Listen, GTFO, I don't want him to have any success of any kind, except in his personal life with his marriage, his kids, and his family. I don't want him to have any successful career in college football ever again. He took Michigan back to the Stone Age.
So Hawaii, another team that Michigan plays, and the only reason
Oh yeah,
I'm bringing them
Hawaii
up-
at 4.5. You're getting 6 out of them. Oh yeah, baby.
That's all of that FanDuel has. You should definitely pick conference winners. I'm interested to see.
You want me to
Let's
do
go
that
the
now?
What
Do you have a
we got
break? We're at an hour even.
We're at an hour.
Do you have a breaking news thing?
I haven't checked my phone in a
No.
little bit.
No. A soundbite.
Oh. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah,
I might
this
have
is big time breaking news from Insider Robert.
looks like I do not. That's the wrong one. That's good enough.
Robert is reporting Nick Saban 2021 was kind of a rebuilding year. So everyone who I just said it had Alabama at 10.5, go hammer that over, because if last year was rebuilding and they won 12 games, I would really hate to see what this year's going to look like.
Nick Saban wants to win 15 games. He wants you to just go play, like, I don't know, the Browns 3 times and probably still.
They might go 15-0. They have the best offensive player in college football and best defense.
You do realize that, right?
Yes, they
There's
can.
only-
They have 12 games regular season, 13 with the conference championship, then 2 college football playoff games.
I was talking about 15 regular season wins.
Oh, yeah, no, they can't do that. That's unallowed. That's illegal. That's too many.
But Nick Saban wants to. Okay, so speaking of, Alabama minus 140, Georgia plus 160. Kentucky
Alabama.
plus 4,000.
No, Alabama.
That one, Texas
We got-
A&M, they really
we got
Texas
done
A&M
sharing
at
the screen.
1,800. That's what they think about that. I'm interested
My-
to see the Big Ten.
My
Wow,
phone's
Big
at
Ten,
2%.
Not close. Minus 200 plus 800. Ohio State and Michigan, respectively.
Michigan's plus 800.
Yeah.
Very, very disrespectful, but also very fair.
Yeah.
Again, Ohio State will have the best offense in Ohio State history, and it will be on par for best in college football.
This one's interesting, okay?
Mhm.
Big 12
Yeah,
plus 200. Who do you think that is?
Baylor.
Oklahoma. Then Texas at plus 250. And then the winner and the runner-up at 600 both. Oklahoma State and Baylor.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm going to take Texas out of all of that. I'm high on Texas.
It's either it's Baylor's going to be up there, and maybe it's those two, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I do know.
Oh, my gosh.
I do speak English, and I can hear you.
So go take Wake Forest because they're plus 2,100.
Who's first? Clemson?
Clemson with minus 155. Then Miami at plus 500. Then
I-
NC State at
I
plus
understand they think Clemson's the favorite, right? But it's at mine. I mean, Clemson's defense is probably going to be the best defense in college football. Clemson's defense is on par with their first one from their from their back-to-back national championships.
Sure.
It's going to be deep and it's going to be good. And I understand that, but new defensive coordinator, blah, blah, blah. If you said Clemson plus 150, okay, sure, because now you really don't know. This is, Clemson, it's definitely, and all the other teams are could happen. No, this is Clemson could happen, and all the other teams also could happen.
USC plus 170, Utah plus 250, Oregon plus 300.
See, this is what the ACC should do. So how come USC? It's the exact same thing. you can't guarantee that Clemson's going to return to old of glory. Clemson has deficiencies on that offensive line for now 2-3 years. Trevor Lawrence covered most of them up, but they haven't been able to run the football in like 2.5 years. Oh, and by the way, USC there.
American. UCF plus 210, Cincinnati plus 230, Houston plus 250, SMU plus 800.
Okay, well,
what did we miss at UCF?
I'm telling you, let me see if I have anything. They returned 5 of the 7 defensive line and the 2 deep in the back 7. So that means they returned everyone plus their backup in the back 7, for those of you who don't know. Just specifically my mother. Returns last year's leading passer, rusher, wide receiver. They have transfers at wide receiver, tight end. O-line returns 3 starters and gets a transfer from Virginia, so that's why. The team on paper is kind of still together. And they didn't play terrible last season, but they lost their starting quarterback, and then he transferred to Oklahoma, Mackenzie Milton.
I guess people are really confident.
But it's still Houston for me.
Yeah, I think 250, that's pretty good. SMU maybe, but I think Houston still is going to be...
SMU's a long shot, but SMU's going to have to outscore everybody.
Yeah. Conference USA, UAB, UTSA, plus 200.
Yeah,
which I know we don't know anything about, but...
UTSA.
Toledo, plus 300. Miami of Ohio, plus 340 for Toledo, 380 for Miami of Ohio, which is interesting.
Let's just go with Toledo.
The MAC is so dependent on your basically recruiting class 3 years ago.
Yeah,
that is so dependent.
It is.
It
is.
You can stack 2 good recruiting years together and develop those players without moving schools. But
that's the problem. Most of the coaches leave and go elsewhere.
Yeah. I'm going to skip the Mountain West. Sun Belt, plus 240 for Appalachian.
Yeah, it's Appalachian State. Appalachian State honestly should be...
We forgot about Coastal Carolina.
In what, the Sun Belt?
Yeah, to talk about
That's fine. That's fine. I'm confident. I don't care. Coastal Carolina was a nice COVID team. Congratulations. You and BYU, you made Zach Wilson look good. Congratulations. I don't care. You got Zach Wilson drafted. Don't care.
Wow.
Okay, well, you can't in the COVID year come out and do whatever they did.
Really?
And then come back, and when you actually have to play good competition and not the competition from your conference, you fall flat on your face. Field's cool. Nice beaches, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And that's just about it.
CJ Stroud, plus 200. Bryce Young, plus 400. Caleb Williams, plus 600. Who do you think I'm talking? What do you think I'm talking about?
It's the Heisman, and I think it's CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud could throw for 5,500 yards this year. If he averages less,
Bryce Young.
If he averages less than 350 yards a game, I'll be shocked. Here's the problem I have with Bryce Young is he won't even be the best football. He's not even the best football player on his own team.
Bryce Young?
Yeah. Will Anderson.
Is he quarterback?
Oh my
sorry.
gosh.
I'm sorry. I don't pay attention to Alabama. I just expect him to be in the football in the college
No.
playoff.
I understand that. I understand you don't pay attention to Alabama and you don't pay attention to when I'm Captain Boyd, and I'm fine with that. I've made peace with that. But Will Anderson, bro, he's basically Aiden Hutchinson, but bigger, stronger, faster, and black.
Oh, so he's a defensive end.
Yes.
Okay. I see what you're saying because it's the Heisman. Okay, I'm there now. I'm just remember Bryce Young really being able to throw the
plus Bryce Young won the Heisman last year, and so if you could try to do back to back, you have to top yourself. And It's the year to do it because he doesn't have the wideouts he did last year. But also, Will Anderson had like 15 sacks last year, and no one talked about it. And they talked about Aiden
Hutchinson.
His numbers were better. His numbers were better. Were better than Aiden's, and Aiden finished second. Will Anderson has a shot, number 1 at 20 sacks, number 2 to win the Heisman himself.
National championship, 180, 300, 350, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia.
I still think it's Alabama because you have the best player in college football on offense and the best player in college football on defense. I've said that. I think they're going undefeated.
That's fair. Okay, versus the field. Alabama plus 178 versus the field.
I'm taking Alabama plus 178.
And Mom's going to ask a question about that, so we're going to answer. So that's Alabama basically versus anybody else, including other people that we're going to have on this list. So Alabama's chances of winning a national championship versus literally everybody else. Scott Pilgrim versus the world. Okay, just these three. Again, same teams. Georgia versus the field plus 350.
They relied so heavily on that defense, on Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, which I love the name Nakobe, and that back seven. And I understand it's Georgia and they'll reload, but Stetson Bennett isn't a world beater, and he got away with not turning the ball over last year. You really expect me to do that again this year? No, thank you. I'm not saying they won't be good, but
Ohio State plus 300 to finish it out.
That's a solid one. Ohio State's trouble has never been its conference. Ohio State's trouble has been the teams in the other conferences. And at some point, they're going to meet an offense, cough, cough, Alabama, that can match score for score with them. And that was their problem a couple of years ago, and that's going to be their problem this year.
Alrighty, well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us on this about hour and 15-minute long podcast as I go and I find our ending music. As always, thank you for listening. Thanks for sticking with us. Anchor.fm/4th&1, Instagram, 4th&1 podcast. We'll see you guys next week. We're really excited for college football.
Wash your hands and your water bottles, y'all filthy animals.